Yeah, so here's what happened. We're on Walker Road. We pulled up here as we have been. We're checking out flooded areas. We got here, and my photographer, Jamie Cook, we're out here. We're shooting video, and he says, I hear some dogs barking. Oh, my gosh, this dog is stuck on top of a barrel trying to avoid the floodwater. So we're going to show you here. Look, this house is surrounded, and in the back, there is a kennel. Inside, we can see at least 2 dogs. There's a brown one on the left, and on the right-hand side, you can see that dog. It has been crying and wailing since we got here and barking. It's stuck in the corner of the kennel trying to stay out of this water. And then I'm going to back up here a little bit. Beside the shed, there's another dog on top of the picnic table just stranded there. No food, no water. So, of course, we had to call animal control because our hearts are breaking. So we've been waiting here. Animal control, I'm going to come over here and show you. Animal control just pulled up, but they've had to call for backup. One, because of how deep that water is, and also there are piles and piles of red ants. So as you can imagine, it is pretty dangerous. I'm going to show you one of these piles. They're all over of these red ants. Look at that, piles. So as you can imagine, it's not going to be safe just to walk in there. I heard he doesn't have boots, so he has called for backup, this animal control officer. I asked him, I'm sure you're seeing a lot of horrible things today out here with pets. He said, no, this is probably the worst thing that I have seen. So we are going to stay out here as animal control arrives, and we are going to bring you the very latest and make sure that these dogs are rescued and that they are safe. Oh, I forgot, Lila, we're still live. We're live on Facebook. So we can just set up the tripod.
What? What's that?
We can set up the tripod.
What do you mean, set the tripod?
We're live on Facebook.
Oh, this video?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What road was that just came up there? Something just bobbed there, up there?
All right, Facebook, we are on Walker Road in Lakeland. We're gonna set the camera up so you can see what we've been looking at along Walker Road. These houses are surrounded by water, and as you can see, as we were getting video, we heard one of these dogs crying, and it's hard to see. Neighbors tell us that the owners evacuated yesterday and left them here. Neighbors tried to get them out last night, but apparently they said there's about 5 dogs actually here. So when they got all the dogs out, they all started apparently attacking one of the dogs. So they were told to put the dogs back in. That's when we pulled up today. We saw them sitting there. We called animal control right away. Luckily, animal control has finally arrived. They were actually really quick to respond. But we are told the animal control officer, he does not have hip waders. And as you can see, this is very deep water. So he's going to need, we don't know what they're going to need to get these dogs out, but they are coming. And as we mentioned earlier, there are piles everywhere of red ants, not to mention snakes and spiders. There's some creatures in here, let's just say that. So you definitely don't want to just go wading in here to try and get these dogs out. I don't know if Jamie can show you, my photographer, but on the picnic table, there was another dog just laying on top of the picnic table trying to stay out of the floodwater. No food, no water. Obviously, they were in the elements last night. Can only imagine what that was like, but they are surrounded by water in their cages. We asked the animal control officer, you know, I'm sure you're seeing a lot of bad stuff, and he said, to be honest, this is the worst that I've seen. So absolutely heartbreaking, but we are going to stay here and make sure that they are rescued. She said, just keep filming. Can I Watch out for the red ants. Oh gosh. Do you want us to get a boat? Do you want help?
The driveway. Right over to your left. There's a driveway there. Right there. Yep. Right. There's a driveway. Right now I'm just gonna be waiting on in there. What's that? Well, he said the driveway's going all the way to the side, so I'm gonna take a walk down through there. Yeah, I think so. 8464. Be careful, man. There's a lot of red ants. I don't know if you saw them. These big piles you're seeing? Yeah. Those are all red ants. Those creatures see it, so just be careful. All right. Mike, got him there. Got him.
Curfew? Okay, thanks. Bye. Answer some questions here. I'm looking at some of the comments. Yes, the dog has moved on the table. It's fine. As you can see, it actually just, well, you can't see because we're not on it right now, but it just sat up. I'm looking at some of the comments. Yes, the dog has moved on the table. It's fine.
You're going to come back to you here?
No. Oh, hold on. Hold on.
Yeah. She's putting her IV in. Oh, she tell you.
Yes, hey, I'm here and I'm ready. Yeah, absolutely. I want to show you right away. We're along Walker Road in Lakeland. This is a neighbor pulling the truck in here just because the water is up to your hips even higher. So there's an animal control officer back here. There is at least 3 dogs stuck back here. Oh, I see another one back here now in this kennel. Do you have a good shot over here? Sorry, I know the truck pulled in there. So they have been yelling and crying, these dogs, so we called animal control and they just arrived. And as you can see, there's an animal control officer back there right now. There's 2 dogs in that kennel. They are surrounded by water. And I don't know if you can see on the right side, there's another dog in a separate kennel backed up in a corner, and it was standing on top of a barrel just trying to stay out of the water. These neighbors just pulled in to try and help this animal control officer, I guess, in case he needs help pulling the dogs out of here and getting them up to the street here, because in this water, it's very deep. We have piles of red ants, which we can show you here in a second. Piles of red ants, snakes. Neighbors said that they've had snakes coming up on their porch. Spiders, big, huge spiders, and again, those red ant piles. So you are looking right now, as you can see, there's 1, 2, 3 dogs in the kennel. There's another one that we've seen on top of the picnic table. I'm trying to look and see over here. Yeah, so these dogs are in their kennel. Be careful, there's a lot of red ants. And now we have neighbors that are walking in to help, of course, though. Yeah, go to the left. It's very deep right there. So we have neighbors that have pulled in to help these dogs, though. We talked to neighbors. They said that the homeowners evacuated yesterday. The neighbors have come over periodically to give the dogs food because they do not have any access to water or food that we've been able to see. The one's been on top of a picnic table since we've been here for 2 hours. Neighbors said that they tried to get these dogs out last night, but once they got them all together, they all kind of ganged up on one of the dogs. So obviously they're going to be needed to be taken out one by one and kept separate, but animal control is here. And these poor dogs, they've been whining and crying, just saying, you know, we're standing here, and it's almost like, help me, why are you just standing there and looking? Sure. Yeah, the neighbors said they didn't really know who they were. They said it's a woman that takes care of an elderly woman, and then also a lot of people come in and out of the house. That's all they were able to tell us. But they did say yesterday during the storm they picked up and left, and they thought they were taking the dogs, but they didn't. Neighbors very concerned. The house here next door, a neighbor across the street, they came out in the middle of the night during these horrible winds and tried to help these dogs. They actually got them into the bed of a pickup truck, and then we were told they kind of all ganged up on one of the dogs, and it wasn't pretty, so they ended up having to put them back in the cages, and then that's where they've been ever since. They were told by a law enforcement officer to just put them back in the cages and to wait for animal control, but as you can imagine, animal control could not respond last night, so as soon as we got out here and saw these dogs, we had to call right away. And as you can see right now, what we're looking at is they are giving them treats right now to kind of try and calm them down, let them know, you know, everything's okay, because they are very worked up, they're very stressed out. They've been barking and crying here now for at least 2 hours, surrounded by water. They don't, you know what's going on. Yes. Yes. Yep. Right, absolutely. And as you mentioned, we just showed you one pile of fire ants. I couldn't even count all of the different piles of fire ants that are floating around here, and the water moccasins, as you said, which are not snakes that you want to encounter. So imagine walking through, oh my goodness, and they're feeding them treats. Look how happy and excited they are. Yes. Yes. One of them was standing on a barrel trying to balance on those barrels that you see, and they're just trying to stay out of the water. And we are told there could be up to 5 dogs. 5 dogs, one of them that is pregnant. We were told the one that was on the picnic table was a pregnant dog. No water, no food, just laying up there.
Did my brother go back there too? Did he go back there too, my brother?
And we're still on Facebook. All right, Facebook. So as you can see, the dogs, they are getting treats. They're getting calmed down. We see some tail wagging, but they are in the water, as you can see, in the water, standing in the water, poor things. And they are encountering, hopefully not, these piles of red ants. Hopefully water moccasin cannot get into those cages, but you just don't know, and not to mention the fact that they were very clearly out here in the elements overnight because neighbors, they could not get them to safety. Neighbors say it was so heartbreaking to know that they were there. They tried to help them, but now finally they are getting some help. That is an animal control officer that you see over here. And we are told up to 5 dogs that were just left here. Oh gosh, that dog is, I mean, the water's up to its chest. Oh. Definitely hard to see, but the good news is they are going to get dry and get safe. Sure. So we are on Walker Road. My photographer and I, we've been traveling all around trying to find areas of flooding and damage. So we came to this roadway here. We were getting video when my photographer, Jamie Cook, said, Melissa, I hear these dogs barking and there's a dog on top of this barrel. So I'm going to take you over here to show you what we've been seeing in these kennels. We are told there could be up to 5 dogs, but we've seen at least 3. And the white one here, is in the very corner trying to stay out of the floodwater. On the other side, there are 2 dogs. The water comes up to their chests, and they have been crying and pretty much begging for help. It's been so heartbreaking to stand here and watch and not be able to go help them. Now some neighbors, as you can see, they came up, backed their truck in because this water comes up to your chest at certain points. So they've backed up into there. They are giving these dogs treats. We're seeing some tail wags, so we're so happy to see that. And animal control is now here. There's an officer here in front of the home. He just knocked on the door, no answer. Neighbors told us they don't know who the neighbors are really, but they did know that the neighbors evacuated yesterday when the storm got bad, and they did not take their dogs with them. We are told that there are 5 dogs back here behind the house. Neighbors have been bringing food over to them, but as you can see, they are surrounded by floodwaters, and we aren't just talking about being surrounded by water. We have piles and piles everywhere of these red ants, and we are talking thousands of red ants in these piles, not to mention dangerous water moccasin floating around. We've had neighbors say just next door that at least 2 to 3 water moccasin have shown up on their back porch, and we know those are not friendly snakes. So back out here, yes, exactly, and these piles of red ants. I mean, imagine getting one of these on you, and these poor dogs are sitting here. Look at this dog here on the left-hand side with the brown with the white spot. Look, the water is up to its hips, and if it would get down off the cage, it actually comes up to its chest. So that is the water that this dog is sitting in right now, left here like this. And well, now I'll ask him right when he gets off the phone. I do know he's on the phone with the supervisor, so we don't want to hinder this operation because he's trying to get somebody out here to get them right away. We do know, we asked him, I said, I'm sure you've seen a lot of horrible things, and he said, to be honest, this is the worst thing that I've seen, if that tells you anything of how bad this is. So we've been able to see 3. Neighbors tell us 5, and the one that was on top of the picnic table trying to stay out of the water, not even in a cage, we are told that one is pregnant. So yeah, they'll take them to animal control. And neighbors, again, they tried to help these dogs yesterday. They got them all into the bed of a truck, and they kind of all ganged up on one. I imagine it was probably a pretty stressful situation with the high winds last night that we got here in Polk County. Scary to these. Yeah, exactly. They don't know what's going on. They just know that, I mean, if you could see this dog, oh my gosh, it's heartbreaking to see this poor dog, water almost up to its head right now. And imagine thinking, how am I going to get out of this? As I'm sure they're thinking. Yes. Oh man, that would be, remember we're on Facebook. I'm going to go ask him here. sweetie. Oh. Hi.
Hey, if we just start bringing up one at a time. Okay, thank you.
Hi, puppy.
We've got any dry kennels or dry? You got a dry kennel or anything?
We don't. Actually, we have one of them that has a pink collar on it. That's ours. It says Betsy.
Sabrina's talking to you.
I can.
It's there. I know the lady that owns it. She doesn't live there.
Oh, I don't know.
Her niece or
right here.
daughter. and some nephews.
No, no, no. They're not going anywhere. They don't know where to take it. The dog. Yep.
I don't understand.
We can at least put them in the.
I know something
Hold
dry.
them.
Yeah, something.
Hi, puppy. Poor thing.
We'll just bring them up one at a time. Huh?
No.
We're still live on Facebook.
By law, they have to wait
Yeah, that's right. So we are along Walker Road in Lakeland. We stumbled, as we were coming to get video, we stumbled upon these dogs that were left in their kennel, water up to their chests. They were sitting on a barrel to try and stay out of the water. Neighbors here, Good Samaritans, just helped. They pulled in, backed in here, and they at least got this dog right here. As you can see, she is cold and soaking wet, shaking. Such a sweet girl, though. Obviously very scared. You can only imagine what she went through all night. We don't know what's going on, though, with animal control. I think they're trying to figure out if they are legally allowed to take these dogs, believe it or not. I want to show you over here, though. We still have more dogs over here stuck in the kennel. Oh, my gosh, this is heartbreaking. We have a dog over here to the left. When they're not standing on the kennel, the water comes up to their chest. So they're basically in this kennel swimming around in this water, and as we have been mentioning, there are piles of red ants that have banded together and are floating here in this water. You don't want to encounter one of those piles. There are water moccasins, which are snakes you do not want to encounter. So that's what's going on right now. We know at least 3 dogs are still stuck in here. We are told there could be 4 in there, because then there's another one here. We were told that this dog's pregnant. We do not know that, but she obviously looks a little happier to be on dry land, but very scared. These dogs were, neighbors tell us that the homeowners evacuated yesterday in the storm and left these dogs here. So they rode the storm outside in the elements. So that's what we have right now. We're going to try and get an update from the Polk County Sheriff's Office, from Animal Control, to see if they're going to take these dogs. We saw them knock on the neighbors or on the homeowners' doors, but nobody answered. Obviously, they have evacuated.
One of those dogs are completely in water.
Are you taking it back? just remember it's still
The
live.
last car that went through, that's up the battery, so you could get put in on
But one of those dogs, like, they're not standing in clean water. It's still water.
Yeah.
They have like a little thin thing, but it's still water on it. They have nowhere to drive.
They can't even get out. My car's like little this, they can't even get out.
I need a drink quick. Okay, just to let you know, right now they're not taking them. They're not.
They can't fall off.
They're not rescuing these dogs. They're giving them a 24-hour. They were trying to figure out if they could take them, and apparently now they have to give them a 24-hour abandonment notice. So that's what you see them putting on these doors. So Yep. Okay, here we go. Do you want me to go back this way then? Yeah, yeah. I'll tell you. Facebook, just to let you know, we are going to go live quick, and then we'll make sure to put the camera back over on these dogs. What?
They start talking about ants. I can't hear. I can't follow along.
I will talk.
Okay.
Sure. So we pulled up here on Walker Road in Lakeland, and we were getting some video of flooded roads and neighborhoods, as you can see here, and we heard and saw dogs trapped and left in their kennel, and they are in water. One is actually standing up on a barrel, you can see, to stay out of the water. One's in the corner of the kennel because that's the only place it can go, and then there's another one just walking around. Now, the heartbreaking thing is that animal control tell us they cannot take these dogs. They have to follow local ordinances, and on the doors of this mobile home they have put pink abandonment letters, and these homeowners basically have 24 hours to come and claim these dogs. And I want to speak to some people here, some good Samaritans who tried to rescue these dogs. They're obviously upset, and they're going to come up with their own plan to try and get these dogs. Anybody, what are you guys going to do to try and get these dogs help?
We're going to go to the house now and get some bowls of food and bring back what we can, supplies, maybe bring some stuff to lift them up out of the water, but they said we couldn't take them off the property until we gave them a 24-hour notice.
Right, or face, I guess, getting in trouble with the law.
Correct, yes. They said it was a felony, or we'd all get arrested if we removed the dogs.
Pretty heartbreaking for all of us, right?
Very, very. We're all dog lovers, so.
Yep. And I know you guys said you're going to start posting on Facebook.
Yes,
what are we going to do?
We're trying to find these homeowners. If anybody knows who lives here, or this address, or anything we could do to get the loopholes around the laws.
Get them home, right?
We need to get them safe, or on some dry land.
Yeah. Okay, well, thank you so much for chatting with us. Thank you so much for coming and trying to help these dogs with us. We're going to keep following this. Animal control is still here, so we are going to follow this. This is still developing. We're going to do something to help them.
Yeah, you want to follow me?
Yes. Yeah, that is what we are told from the Polk County Sheriff's Office, unless they are in distress. So I think that's kind of the question here. Are they in distress? If you ask all of us, out here being dog lovers, I mean, it's heartbreaking to see. But, and as we had mentioned, you have red ants floating around in this water, big swarms of red ants. You have water moccasins. So obviously these neighbors here, and we as well, are concerned. But animal control, they are doing, what they have to do, following the ordinances. So they're sorting through it right now, basically. This is developing.